There's a thing you've been going to do for about 6 years now. Maybe it's writing the book, maybe it's starting the business, learning the language, finally getting back in shape. And here's the strange part about it, you never actually gave up on it. There was never a single day where you sat down and decided, this is it, I'm done, I'm not doing this. Because if there had been, at least you could grieve it, and at least it will be over and you could move on. What happened instead was much quieter than that. Today you were tired, so you didn't start, and honestly, that was completely reasonable. Tomorrow you were busy, and you didn't start too, and that was reasonable too. The week after, the timing was bad, and the week after that, you were going to start fresh on Monday. And every single one of those days, on its own, was a was a totally fair call to make. That right there is what this video is about. It's about the way a dream never dies from one big dramatic decision. It leaks out slowly through 1,000 small, reasonable days where not doing it felt like nothing at all. I call it the slow drip. Here's what makes the slow drip so dangerous, and it's the opposite of what everyone tells you. People tell you that the problem is discipline, that you need a better system, a better morning routine, more motivation, more accountability. But look closer at what the drip is quietly protecting you from. The day you sit down and seriously try to write a book is the day the book stops being this perfect thing in your head and turns into real words on a page that might be bad. As long as you haven't really started yet, the book is still going to be brilliant. The business is still going to work. The version of you who does these things is still perfectly intact because you have never once tested it. The slow drip keeps that version alive. Every reasonable day you put it off, you get to keep believing in who you could be, and you never have to find out who you actually are. And the best part, the reason it works so well, is that it never cost you a thing today. The bill doesn't come today, it comes in 10 years all at once. Now you might be thinking, hang on, sometimes I am really tired, sometimes life is real busy, and you're right, rest is real. A brutal week is real. So here's how you tell the two of them apart. Real rest ends. You get tired, you rest, and then you come back and you do the thing. The drip never ends. There is always a next reason, and the reasons are always genuinely reasonable. And somehow you are never quite in the season where you start. Real rest fills you back up and sends you back to the work. The drip just quietly slides the work one more day down the road, and then it does it again forever. So be honest with yourself for a second. That thing you've been meaning to do, how long has it actually been now? If it has been a couple weeks and you got a real reason, then fine, go rest and come back. But if it's been months or years, and every one of those months or years had a perfectly good excuse sitting inside it, then this is your pattern and you need to see it clearly. One comfortable day at a time, for years, you have been choosing not to do it. Nobody made that choice for you. You made it every day in the smallest, most forgivable way possible. So here's the move, and it's much smaller than you think. You don't need the whole book today. You don't need the business plan or the perfect routine or the clean schedule. You need to do the thing badly for 5 minutes today before the day hands you its reasonable excuse. Write one bad paragraph. Do one small, ugly version of it. Because the drip only runs while today stays empty. The second you put something real into today, the run of reasonable days breaks. And I already know you're going to want to wait until you feel ready, until the timing is clean, until Monday. But ready doesn't show up on its own. Ready shows up after you start, and only after. So That thing you've been going to do for 6 years now, or whatever months, you could put five real minutes into it today. 5 minutes won't finish it. 5 minutes breaks the spell. It turns today into the day you actually did something, and the dream cannot survive a day like that. The dream was never going to die in one big moment. It was quietly leaking out of 1,000 reasonable days. So you need to plug it today. Do the small, bad, real version of it, and let it finally cost you something now instead of everything later.